You spend hours reading pet food labels. You buy the premium, grain-free, protein-rich, organic food. You carefully measure out the exact portions because you want your furry best friend to live forever. You think you are doing absolutely everything perfectly. But what if I told you that the actual object you are serving that expensive food in, and exactly where you place it, is slowly, silently damaging their internal organs? What if their daily meal is actually a source of psychological torture? Welcome to VetaSpan, the channel where we bridge the gap between human love and veterinary science. As a veterinarian, I see owners spending thousands of dollars on special diets, completely unaware that the bowl itself is making their pet sick. Today, we are talking about a silent killer sitting right now on your kitchen floor. We are going to expose the incredibly common, completely normal feeding habits that are secretly causing extreme anxiety, bacterial infections, and irreversible kidney failure in our pets. By the end of this video, you will likely want to throw your pet's current bowls directly into the trash, and I'm going to show you exactly how to replace them to save your pet's life. Let's start with the most popular item sold in every pet store around the world: the double bowl. You know the one, it has a spot for food on one side and water right next to it, all in the same plastic or metal unit. It looks so convenient to us, but to a cat, this is an evolutionary nightmare. To understand this, you have to look at the world through the eyes of an apex predator. In the wild, when a feline makes a kill, the carcass can easily contaminate any nearby water source with deadly bacteria. Over millions of years, cats have evolved a deep, primal, instinctual aversion to drinking water that is located right next to their food. When you use a double bowl, your cat's brain is literally screaming that the water is tainted, toxic, and unsafe to drink. As a result, they will only drink the bare minimum required to survive. Since cats naturally have a very low thirst drive anyway because their ancestors came from the desert, this chronic, daily dehydration is catastrophic. It thickens their urine, creates crystals, and forces their kidneys to work in overdrive. This innocent-looking double bowl is a leading environmental cause of feline chronic kidney disease and deadly, painful urinary blockages. You must separate their food and water stations completely. Put the water on the other side of the room, or better yet, invest in a moving water fountain in a completely different hallway. Now, let's talk about the material of the bowl itself. If you are using a plastic bowl to feed or water your pets, you need to throw it away the second this video ends. I am completely serious. Plastic is a highly porous, soft material. Even if you wash it with boiling water and dish soap every single day, microscopic scratches develop on the surface. These scratches happen from your pet's teeth, their rough tongue, and even from the sponge you use to clean it. These microscopic canyons become impenetrable breeding grounds for severe, toxic bacteria. Have you ever touched your pet's bowl and felt a slippery, slimy film on the bottom? That is called a biofilm. It is an entire colony of bacteria like E. coli and Salmonella protecting itself. When your pet eats, they rub their chin directly against this bacterial colony. As a veterinarian, I treat cases of feline acne constantly. Owners bring in cats with swollen, red, bleeding, black scabs covering their chins. They think it's just dirt. It's not. It is a painful bacterial infection, and it is almost always caused by a plastic bowl. Furthermore, plastic naturally leaches endocrine-disrupting chemicals like BPA into the food and water, which over time can severely damage your pet's thyroid gland. You must switch to high-quality, food-grade stainless steel or heavy ceramic bowls. But it's not just the material, it's the shape. Most owners buy deep, narrow bowls because they hold a lot of food and they stop the pet from spilling kibble on the floor. But this brings us to a highly misunderstood veterinary condition called whisker fatigue. Let's do a quick anatomy lesson. A cat's whiskers are not just long hairs. They are highly advanced, incredibly sensitive sensory receptors called vibrissae. They are rooted deep into the muscle and connected directly to the nervous system. A cat uses them to detect tiny changes in air currents to hunt in pitch-black darkness. They are as sensitive as human fingertips. Now, imagine someone lightly, but constantly, tapping on your eyeball while you try to eat your dinner. That is exactly what it feels like when a cat has to shove their face into a deep, narrow bowl. Their highly sensitive whiskers are repeatedly crushed, bent, and dragged against the hard sides of the bowl. It is massive sensory overload, and it causes genuine physical stress. If your cat always uses their paw to pull food out of the bowl and drops it onto the dirty floor to eat it, or if they eat a hole perfectly in the center of the food and then cry that the bowl is empty. Even though there is food around the edges, they are not being a picky eater. They are experiencing whisker fatigue. They are telling you, "It literally hurts my face to eat the rest of this." You need to switch to wide, very shallow dishes, or even completely flat plates where their whiskers never have to touch the sides. Finally, we have to talk about geography. We call it the corner of shame. Humans love to put pet bowls in the most hidden, out-of-the-way places to keep the house looking clean and tidy. We tuck them next to the loud refrigerator, directly beside the rumbling washing machine, or worst of all, right next to their litter box. Let me be very clear. Nobody, not even an animal, wants to eat their dinner right next to their toilet. The smell of the litter box completely ruins their appetite. Furthermore, the sudden, loud noises from appliances put them in a constant state of hypervigilance. The digestive system literally shuts down if the nervous system is in a fight or flight panic mode. When a pet puts their head down to eat, they are in their most vulnerable blind position. If you put their bowl facing a wall in a busy hallway, they have to turn their back to the room. In their primal mind, this creates immense anxiety that a predator, or another pet in the house, might sneak up and ambush them. If you have multiple pets, forcing them to eat in the same small kitchen corner creates intense resource-guarding anxiety. They will eat too fast, swallow air, and vomit immediately after just to get away from the tension. Place their shallow, ceramic bowls in a quiet, low-traffic area. Put the bowl slightly away from the wall so your cat or dog can sit behind the bowl, facing the room, with a clear 180-degree view of their surroundings. This simple change allows them to finally eat in absolute peace. The items we use every single day seem so incredibly harmless to us. But our pets experience the world completely differently than we do. A minor aesthetic convenience for a human can be a source of chronic pain, high anxiety, or deadly organ failure to a dog or a cat. But here is the amazing news. You have the power to fix this right now. By making incredibly simple, cheap changes today, tossing the plastic, moving the water bowl to another room, throwing away the deep bowls and using flat human plates, and moving their feeding station to a safe, quiet spot, you are instantly upgrading their physical health and removing a massive amount of silent stress from their daily lives. Thank you for watching VetaSpan. We believe that true love for your pet means giving them a life based on science and understanding, not just convenience. If you realized you were accidentally making one of these feeding mistakes, do not feel guilty. We are all learning together. Please share this video right now to help save other animals from this silent stress. And hit that subscribe button to join our community of educated, passionate pet owners. I'll see you in the clinic, and I'll see you in the next video.